Alright, so the analyzing series. It's this series that is supposed to be me analyzing my friend's gameplay. And what happened was that I did Rampy, I analyzed his gameplay, and the video got a lot of negative feedback. I got a lot of criticism that I gave him way too high of scores, and it really discouraged me from doing another analyzing. But I've come back. This is another one. This is, you could say, the return of the analyzing series. And for this week, we have Alex. Alex the Lowe, one of my favorite guys to play with. Play Call of Duty, that is, if you're a dirty-minded little fuck. Um, if I had to compare Alex to a player, it would be me. He's very objective oriented. He's above average, but doesn't have the fantastic gun skill that players like John Chris seem to have. But he's a very strong player. But you do see him make mistakes, but you also see him do very good things. So, right off the bat, we have Alex get spawned in one of the most ridiculously imbalanced map spawns in any Call of Duty. He gets the A spawn on Dome, which basically means for the first 3 minutes of the games you're going to be fighting a spawn trap, because there is no way to not be spawn trapped right off of A, because the other team spawns right on top of B and they can take an early C flag that you cannot contest. The only way you can get to you can't really stop them from capping B, because you can only really come from one direction realistically, and all they have to do is aim down sight right at the doorway from the barrel side, the really good spawn trap, that construction crate entrance by A spawn. That's the only place you can realistically enter, because running through the middle of the map without any cover will surely get you killed. So you can only run through there, and you're usually not going to be able to cap B from there. And then you have no realistic way of capping C, because you obviously can't run through the middle of the map to get it, and you can't run through bottom dome to go cut them off at C, because there's exploding barrels, and any smart player is going to cut those off with a stun or a pre-nade or just be watching it. So you're basically screwed, because you have to take A, risk getting spawn sniped, and after you take A, you have to fight to get B, and it's really hard. Fortunately, Alex has capped B and C, or helped his team, I should say. You know, it's hard to break down a dome game, because the thing about a dome game is it feels like there should be Benny Hill music playing in the background, just because of the ridiculous unpredictability of it, and just the fact that the spawns don't make any sense. I'm going to talk about Alex's loadout for a second. As his primary, he has the easy mode 6.8 with red dot equipped, and as his secondaries, he has one of my personal favorite, the Cowboy Troy's Akimbo. As for grenades and equipment and all that, he's rocking the normal frag, which I like because it can help you keep objectives. Honestly, frag is probably better than the Stimtex, although I don't like to cook the frag in this game because it's so fast paced, so that's why I run the Stimtex. One of the things that you can see Alex do from really early on is what is something that really good players do all the time, and it's what really good players are striving for. At no point do you ever just see Alex go to a random part of the map and kill horror. He's always at least a little bit minding the objectives. He's at least slightly keeping control of the map. He's never just going to an irrelevant part of the map and camping there. Although in Dome the whole map is used, so you can't really tell even if he was doing that. But if it was a bigger map and he was just sticking to the outskirts and kill whoring, that would be the wrong way to play. The way he's playing is he's always pushing up to the flags that he needs to cap, and he's always trying to do the right thing for his team. Like right here, you see him take the flag. This prevents a triple cap, obviously, because they just cap C. Alex's team just capped A. Even if you're on one flag, at least you're getting some points. They have a small lead right now, and if they get triple cap, that would quickly dwindle. So once again, Alex is minding the objective in all the right ways, and he's attempting to make a push up to B right here, although he is getting flashed. One thing they did in Modern Warfare 3 that was completely wrong was in Black Ops, they had perks where you could prevent yourself from flashes and stuns and explosives. When I say prevent yourself, I mean prevent other people from using effectively. So other people couldn't use flashes, stuns, or explosives effectively on you. In this game, they have a perk that does that, Blast Shield. Well, Blast Shield Pro is supposed to protect against stuns and flashes. It doesn't work. It just straight up doesn't work. You still get destroyed by stuns and flashes. I don't even think it has an effect at all. So, that's one thing good players can't prevent against in this game. That was a nice thing in Black Ops is a good player could prevent against annoying things and sacrifice not having perks. This is the way I look at it. You cannot be affected by flashes and stuns and only have one perk, or you can just be on the same playing field as everyone and have like Ghost and Hacker. It's just kind of a different way I like to look at it. It's almost like you prevent yourself from BS deaths, but you don't have as many perks to help you get kills. I don't know. But in Modern Warfare 3, there's a lot more BS, and there's a lot less ways to prevent that BS. So they have two flags right here, A and C. Alex is going to drop a pred, and he does a good job of cutting the people off trying to go to C. Unfortunately, those people either die or have a random Infinity Ward moment where they just decide not to die. Now, one thing that really pisses me off about Modern Warfare 3, and it's one of the main reasons I don't play it anymore, is because Infinity Ward has just randomly decided that they're going to kind of pick and choose when your shit works. For instance, when someone just spawns in, your like air support won't kill them. You can see 10 people spawn at once and shoot a Reaper and hit them all and just get a hit marker. And it won't tell you like spawn cooldown active. It'll just be like, oh yeah, you got a hit marker, which is ridiculous because at that point you're almost lying to the player. Alex picks up his payload there. That'll help his team significantly. That'll be a game changer. As well, also, I'm going to point out that they're on two flags when he calls this in, so it's going to do very good things spawn trapping wise. Another thing that pisses me off about what Infinity Ward has done. Have you ever thrown a spawn nade in Modern Warfare 3? Like, at the beginning of a game, thrown a nade, like, in a traffic pattern, and you're like, oh, I see people, I know this is going to get a kill. And you just get one of the most ridiculously loud hit markers you've ever heard. And you're like, wow, I knew that landed like in the middle of like 10 people. Why didn't it kill them? Well, that's because Infinity Ward decides to just randomly put sponging on players. Sponging is like invincibility frames, by the way. If you've ever played Gears of War 3, the players have sponging off of spawn. So that's one thing that makes me angry about Infinity Ward is they take the tools that good players have to avoid explosives away, and then they give people random unexplainable sponging, and then you have one of those moments like, was he sponging my hits, or was that lag, or am I doing something wrong? What's going on? So a note to game makers out there, Treyarch, whoever, don't put sponging in your game. It's ridiculous. And if you do put sponging in your game, make it clear when there is sponging. Like, remember when Treyarch prevented people from tubing at the beginning of search games? Which was good, especially coming off of Modern Warfare 2. But tubing and nades are different. You know, a well-placed nade is one thing. Shooting a tube is bullshit. But Treyarch made it very clear whenever your noob tuber explosive was being sponged. And that was very helpful. You knew when not to throw nades. In this game, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know if the sponging stops whenever you see the first person or the first kill happens. This is a great play by Alex right here. He picks up 4 quick kills at C and then tries to cap the flag. Big ups to him. This is the kind of moments that makes Alex a good player. He rushes into where he needs to be. He holds the objective down and plays and sorry. He holds the objective down and he plays it very well and then defends it. And then he gets screwed out of a kill because of final stand. That's the second time this game Alex has picked up that stupid M16 and gotten BS'd. Alright, That was Alex's game. Now it's time for me to give him his scores. His score will be popping up in a minute, and so will my ratings. Map navigation. I'm going to give Alex a 6 on this one. It's definitely not his strong suit. It seems like that most of Alex's deaths come from approaching the map in the wrong way or not taking proper cover. So that's definitely not his strong suit. General smarts, reloading, and traffic patterns. I think this is a at least above average suit for Alex, because general smarts not only applies to, reloading at the right times and not making dumb mistakes. General smarts also applies to knowing when to take an objective and being at the right place at the right time. So I'm going to go ahead and give Alex an 8 for that, because it looked like, if you go back and watch the game, like some of his deaths are like two bursting someone on the chest with an M16 and not dying. It's not his fault. Some of his deaths are like getting caught in bad positions, like people spawn on top of you. It's dome. That's why there's Benny Hill music playing. Not his fault. And like that play at C that more or less wins this team the game, even though it wasn't close. He gets 5 quick kills and caps the flag. Those are the kind of players you need on your team. So I'm giving Alex an 8 there. Objective play. This is a 10. I love playing with Alex. He's so objective oriented. He's a good communicator, which we'll get to in a second. But he knows when to take what flags. He doesn't blindly cap all the time. And he's the kind of guy that'll get on B when you need it. He's the kind of guy that when you lose those tough games to full teams, when it's 2v6, you and him with randoms and a loaded party of 6 on the other team, you're not going to be able to look at him and say, "What the hell were you doing?" He's going to be right there along your side, going after B over and over and over, trying to win the game, trying to play the objective. And Alex is the kind of guy that even if you lose, you can't really be mad at, because you know he's doing the right thing and he's doing his best objective wise. Communication, that's a 9 for Alex. His callouts aren't perfect, but he tries as much as he can and he does a very good job at them. And not only are his callouts way above average, playing with Alex is a very enjoyable experience just because of his personality, and he says funny things. And in the Fistful of Typewriter days when we went on a 34-0, I think Alex was a big part of just keeping morale up. He's not like a team captain per se, but he's like a gel. He keeps everyone calm and keeps everyone kind of like using the right class, but he doesn't have to take an authoritarian approach to it. He's a very pleasant person to play Xbox with. Gun skill, that's a 7. It's not Alex's best, like I said. It's not Alex's best suit. Like I said, he's a player like me. He does a lot of things right. He does some things wrong, but he doesn't have the gun skill that, say, a Cliff the Pro or a John Chris has. But it's not a weak suit. A weak suit. I'm starting to sound ridiculous. It's not a weak point of his game. He's not spraying everywhere like Peter North. He's has good gun skill, but it's not his strong suit. It's a 7. And as far as X Factor goes, that's an 8 for Alex. It's not to the point where you can pick up Alex and win every game, but it's to a point where the way he plays, as objective oriented as he plays, you can reel off tons of wins with Alex as well as have tons of fun. That was analyzing Alex Lowe. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It's been Phil Steppen, and I'm out!